hey, you want to be in the campaign? He's like, yeah, absolutely, man. And then I said, all right, do this and this and this, and literally a week has passed and he hasn't said a word. So I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with this again. I mean, he kind of did this through Amarket. I don't know if you noticed that, Crazy, but he was a little flaky. And
Yeah.
wasn't very communicative.
She had to make a password and stuff. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, passwords.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I just wasn't really willing to deal with that again, and the flakiness and not sure whether or not we were going to play. But I think I have assembled a relatively punctual group.
Relatively.
That's what you think. I'm going to start flaking now after 3 years.
Don't you fucking do it, Tristan.
Yeah, well,
In 3 years, I'm just going to start now.
Don't do it. You veterans, don't fail me now.
You gotta set a good example for the noob here.
That's right. By the way, this will be Gabby's absolute first tabletop RPG experience.
Oh, nice.
So of course we start her off with the most
poor
intense,
thing.
horrific shit. Yeah.
Go big or go home, right?
Scary one.
Not too heavy, not too light.
Traumatizing.
So once you get all signed up in Chronica, both of you, we can get to Gabby, your character creation. We've already determined that Gabby is going to be an investigative journalist, which will play in very well with the story.
Oh boy.
Yeah, both. I'm in.
So we have a thug, we have a forensic psychologist, a hacker, a soldier, a police officer, and now a investigative journalist.
Yo, Tom is way more than just a thug, man.
You're a
muscle.
crime boss running away from his problems only to go out of the frying pan into the fire, literally.
Yeah, he's the thug.
Listen. Maybe. But hey.
Linda. Listen, Linda.
Listen, just because you're not wrong doesn't mean you're right.
I don't like being right. So once you get that done. So character creation process is fairly simple. It just involves knowing how to roll on Roll20 and using those rolls to plugging them into your sheet. That's really all about it.
You guys figured it out.
Yep.
I
Roll20 does all the hard stuff.
Levels are okay. I don't know if I heard right, but
I can't hear you in the channel, hon. Can anyone hear Jeff talking?
No.
Yep.
No.
It's not working.
Maybe it's input settings for the computer itself.
Has he tried a different headset?
He's on the second one currently. Nope, can't hear you. Did you do a reset? He did do a reset.
Tell him to go into the cog, bottom left, under user settings, audio, video, voice and video, and tell me what he has his input and output set as.
What's
headset?
Wait, so you
guys,
he
just can't hear me.
So that doesn't make any sense.
So it's your input.
Are you muted?
So
Like hardware
I've
muted?
discovered something that I've been going to do for my headset. I don't know why. I have to make my output where for people to be able to hear it, I have to make it my computer's microphone. I can't use my headphones. I don't know why it's been doing that. Discord.
Weird.
That's if you have an integrated microphone.
I have no clue. I'm sorry.
If Jeff has
Well,
a
I can hear
PC,
him out loud.
chances are he doesn't.
I'm just gonna.
You guys hear?
Oh, whoa. What was that?
Oh, hey!
He switched to a different mic.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Obviously, Charlie fucked up my headset when he used it, so...
Working out
Dang.
great.
Oh my god.
Alright, progress.
Oh, that's
Yep.
Is
awesome.
Ollie Pritchard Ricky's NPC?
No, Ollie Pritchard is the local hooligan.
So which mic?
Love
I don't
me a
even have to
hooligan.
use my mic. Yours is
Do you
picking me
love
up.
you a hooligan because he's good looking?
I don't... I gotta play with the... Sorry.
Maybe. Gotta say, the dark-haired one in the AI though was better.
Oh my god, I know. I'm trying to come up with a bunch of AI renderings of all these different NPCs, and actually some of them are astoundingly good. They're exactly what I wanted.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, the dark-haired one was super attractive.
So now that we have that resolved, we are recording this, by the way, just so everyone is aware. I do record my sessions, and Jeff will be streaming. So again, if anyone has an issue with that, please tell us now.
So I can stop my stream, because I just started.
Otherwise, welcome back. We're going to finalize character creations for this evening and get backstories and connections, character connections, all taken care of, because as this is a very isolated community, it is therefore very tight-knit. Everybody knows each other. Whatever happens, everyone is always aware of, and it doesn't take long for news to travel fast. So, once you're in roll 20, Gabby, we'll get your character going.
Yep. Where do I need to
We're
go?
recording, right?
Sorry, yes, we are recording.
Enos.
Oh my god.
You can put your mic down.
But I think it does it echo?
I don't hear any echo.
It's
Okay.
no,
Echo
it's
a
no,
bit.
it's not. It's not. Just a slight, maybe, but that's it.
That's while we're sitting next to each other, so that doesn't help.
We're those people.
So yes, roll 20. Go back into the site that you had created a character for. Created a account for that you were having trouble with a profile pic there.
Yep.
And you should have Screams in the Silence as the only campaign in your list there under My Games.
Yep.
Click on Join or Start Game, whatever it says. I think it's Start Game.
Launch game?
Launch
yeah.
game, yeah.
Maybe later. Okay. Oh.
So once you get in, this will be the Roll20 interface. This will be how you interact with everything going on, including your character sheets and possibly some maps that I might have available. But really, I'm probably going to be relying on Chronica entirely for certain things, including maps.
We'll keep our character sheets here, though, right?
Yes. Yep, you'll roll everything here, and you will change your character's information as it happens here. Everything else should be put into Chronica, cataloged, whatever. If you have notes you want to take, put that in there. If you have like character developments, like you learn pieces of information about other characters or NPCs, throw it in that. If you discover like historical information or even like really creepy cryptic information about the setting or the campaign itself, put it all into Chronica. That's where we're all going to have access and be able to collectively keep track of the campaign, including myself.
Gotcha.
So now that you're here, so this is the Roll20 interface, Gabby. Top right, you got your column there, your big old pull-out box. At the top left, you have the chat, which looks like the speech bubbles, and then you have the icon that looks like photos. That's the library. You won't have to worry about that. And then you have the newspaper, which is your journal. That's where your character is going to be.
Alright, I just... Oh. No, I got it. I got it.
Yep.
I see what you're talking about. Alright, library, characters,
The newspaper one.
the jukebox.
Yep, the jukebox will be purely my control.
Right.
Also, I like to use sound effects and different types of music and whatever to improve the overall feel of everything. So, all right. So if you want to click on your name there, that's your sheet. What you're going to do is you're going to edit the sheet directly when it gives you that prompt. Yep.
You can see what she's doing right now.
Yep, I can.
Oh.
I can
Crazy.
see everything you're doing. All right,
He
so
was using my sheet when we were first going through it, and he just randomly changed stuff or switched to a new page. It's real freaky. It's like, wait, can I quit that?
Sorry. All right, so the first step is you're going to generate your characteristics. That means you see those sort of darkened boxes at the top near under the name Call of Cthulhu. Strength, dexterity, intelligence, constitution, appearance, all that stuff. Those are your characteristics. And we're going to roll and determine the numbers or the values that go into those boxes right now.
Okay.
So in the right column of roll 20, where you saw the newspaper and the information icon and the chat boxes and shit, click on the chat button.
Our left one.
Yep, far left.
Got it.
You're going to do all your rolls in this little box. So when you click on the chat box, yep, on the bottom where you are ready to type in something, you're going to do /roll, no spaces, and then space
1d20
or 3d6, which is what you're going to be rolling. 3d6.
Oh, 3d6.
Yep.
Okay.
This is going to be for your strength.
3d6. 13.
Okay. Now that is going to be multiplied by 5, which is 65 strength. Damn,
Yeah.
you're strong.
Fucking Hulk.
Yeah. So I just typed that in.
Yep, type in 65 right in that box.
Okay.
And then yep, there you go. Okay.
Mine is literally half of that.
So to show you what those other numbers next to it mean, you got 65 and then 32 is the half value rounded down. And then the 13 is the fifth value rounded down. What that signifies is 65 is what's known as a regular success. Anytime you roll beneath 65, you have succeeded. Anytime you roll below 32, you've achieved a hard success. And anytime you've rolled below a 13, you've achieved an extreme success, which is very good. Anytime you roll closest to 0 is going to be very beneficial for you.
Okay.
The higher you go, such as 100, very bad. Except in certain circumstances, like when you're trying to improve your character, and we'll cover that later. But let's move on to Dex. Actually,
still using 3d6.
Dexterity.
So dexterity is going to be 3d6 as well. Yes.
You can just press up on the keyboard, and it'll just automatically use the same command.
Oh my God, 65 again.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, Gabby's gonna win the game for all of us, right?
Y'all want to be my friend. Alright.
Okay, let's
Intelligence.
do Constitution now. Actually, that's
Okay.
going to be 3d6 again. Okay, what the fuck?
Am I doing this right?
Yeah, you are.
It's the same numbers, too.
Alright.
One more.
Holy
Let's
crap.
go with Intelligence now, which is going to be 2d6 plus 6. So you can literally type that out. 2d6 plus 6.
2d6 plus 6.
What the fuck is happening, dude?
Are you sure I'm doing this right?
Times 5. It's 65.
What was that? Intelligence?
It's 65 intelligence.
Jesus. Okay.
Well,
Jesus
normally I
Christ.
offer the chance
What
of
is
people
the
to
odds?
I
switch
don't know.
2 fucking characteristics around, but I don't know if that's really going to apply to you anymore. Okay, let's go with now appearance.
God damn.
3d6.
65.
Here it is. Here it comes.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I had
Still
to
not
fall
bad.
at some point.
That's going to be 50.
That's average, dog. You're still chilling.
Average appearance, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
my
let's-
appearance is garbage.
Let's go with
Yeah, you're
power.
pretty-
That's why I hide behind my computer.
That's right.
Fucking ugly.
Your power is going to be 3d6. 11, so it's
Alright, now
55.
All right, we broke the 13 curse. Not even a curse, really, actually.
Blessing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Your size is
Queen
going...
no longer the only one that isn't ugly.
That... yeah, maybe. Size is going to be 2d6 plus 6.
Isn't Gabe pretty too?
Yeah, everyone's
15.
pretty much
Jesus
good
Christ,
looking
you're
here.
huge.
Of course.
I thought everybody
Not
had
me,
below
I'm
average.
average,
Mine.
but huge.
Holy mother of God.
Well, I gotta accommodate all that strength.
Gabby's like 8 feet tall.
Shit,
Did you get a 70 on-
75.
75 on size.
Jesus,
Damn, you're bigger than me.
I'm gonna be the biggest journalist ever.
Hey, you there!
Answer my
Let
questions,
me write a
bitch.
story about you.
The
Okay.
my family
investigative
back.
journalist
Want my
that
family
goes down
back.
into like cults and stuff and investigates the cults.
Yeah.
It's just as big as me.
Alright, so now your education. That is going to be 2d6 plus 6. Oh, 50.
Aw.
Average.
It's average, yeah.
You can switch those numbers around, can't you?
Yes, so what I did with everybody, Gabby, is you are allowed to take 2 stats and switch the values. So if
So
you
you
want to
can take
take
it-
that size and maybe put it in education or
Yeah,
strength or
probably.
dex or intelligence, whatever you want to do. Appearance,
Yeah,
anything.
I think I'll probably swap size and education, so I'm not like an Amazon.
Okay.
And last one.
Next
luck.
one is going to be luck. Yes, that's 3d6.
Another 10, so
Another
50.
50. Damn, you got some pretty average, above average and average rolls. I mean, there's nothing really low among them at
So
all.
do I change
You
these
got
now?
lucky.
Yeah, go ahead and change those.
Just
Okay.
create an overpowered character.
Well, the fact that you're getting a good character out of your first experience is not only good for you, but good for me too. So,
It's beneficial all around.
okay, so that's all set. Now we need to determine your age. How old do you think your character would be? Envision yourself.
37.
Is that your actual? Okay, when I say yourself.
I know, I know. I was going with a millennial, so I might as well just use my actual age.
Okay, 37 it is. So what's going to happen is you're going to make what's known as an improvement check for your education. So you're actually, you see the word education above the number?
Mm-hmm.
Click that word.
I am. Nothing's happening.
Oh, wait.
They're probably in edit mode.
Oh, change it out of edit mode. Top right, you see that check? Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Now click education.
Okay.
You...
Hard success. Jesus Christ.
So, and now hang on. Actually, that is a fail because improvement rolls you have
What?
to have to get beyond
Oh,
your value.
that sucks.
We'll see. Actually, how it works is the higher your education, the less you would need to know, or the less you would not know, if that makes sense. So you would have to roll above your current standing in your education to conceive the possibility that you don't know something, if that makes sense.
But being an investigative journalist, being good at my job, wouldn't I know a lot of stuff? Ideally.
You would know a lot of that, yes. So,
She does get plus 4 to education for the skills.
yes. So what's gonna happen? So improvement checks always when you roll the value, or rather the characteristic itself, as long as you get above your current value, that's when you can add the D10 roll to your value. But you did not meet it, so you do not gain a benefit from the improvement check, unfortunately.
That's alright.
You're still pretty damn smart.
Go back to edit mode if you would, please. And change your age to 37 at the top there. right next to Call of Cthulhu. Alright, let's go to determining your occupation, which you already kind of have. Occupation will be investigative journalist.
It even sounds fancy.
The other thing is I don't expect anyone to speak in accents. I'm going to try and speak in accents, but I don't.
Oh, this will be
I
fun.
could try and study a German accent.
Good luck with that because I worked with a bunch of Welsh people for a summer, and the accent is like I could not understand them. They had to talk real dumb for me.
It's pretty crazy. They tend to like elongate their vowels. Like for example, my name John, instead it would be John.
Is it just me or is Tristan pretty like low?
She's a little low, I guess.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's low, but I also have like my computer all weirdly set up because I'm taking notes for biology while doing this.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to decide your skills and we'll allocate some skill points. So, first you have what's known as occupational skills, which are skills that you already have those highlighted in your sheet, which is good. These are skills that come along with your occupation. Go figure. So, what you're going to do is where is it?
It's on page 82 if you're looking for skills.
Choosing
There's a handbook?
multiply investigation. Okay, so hang on.
Somewhere over here.
I will send you the handbook.
Thank you.
God, what calculate occupation using characters specified alongside. Okay, so go to your occupation. What page was it, Jeff?
82.
82. 82. There it is. All right, so your occupation skill points are going to be your education score times 4. Jesus. Okay. So that is going to be 75 times 4. What is happening with my shit? Of course my numlock would not activate. That's going to be 300 occupation skill points.
Wow.
So what you'll do is, let's see here. You have arts, crafts as one. You have one interpersonal skill, such as charm, fast talk, intimidate, or persuade. Charm obviously is like, hey, can you tell me that? You're being like all kind of, Fast talk is like, trying to very, you're trying to get to the point quickly. Yeah, like exactly, like a sales talk. Intimidate.
I don't see arts and crafts in the skills.
It's art or photography.
Oh, I see none of those.
If you don't see it in there, you can fill it in as an additional skill, which is below the chart there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I had to add, so if you look at the book, it has all of the skills, and you can pick if there's one that's not on here you want to add. So, I added electronics and read lips.
Now, I also think that there has to be a setting where you can change it to modern where you will actually see those skills. Because it had it.
It does have most of them there. It's just that some of them aren't there. Like for sciences, I had to add a particular, I had to add forensics on there. I didn't have any of the sciences.
Yeah.
It said add.
Oh yeah, some of the stuff you do have to add in.
General.
If you look at the skills tabs,
Yeah.
So I got my thing in edit mode.
Oh,
some of the arts or crafts you gotta add in. Same with some of the science, survival, and
yeah.
So I had to add in the forensic science for my character, but most of it is there. All the basic ones are pretty much there.
Yep. So it's just as simple as throwing in a name on one of those additional skills, and if it applies to like a language or a science, you put it in there. Survival, pilot, so on and so forth. But investigative journal. Let's see. Okay, so 300 skill points. So let's see. You got charm, fast talk, intimidate, or persuade. You got history, library use, your own language, which is good. I mean, if you're if you're an investigative journalist, you would probably want to at least be somewhat fluent in English.
Yeah. That's a given.
And definitely either art or photography.
Yep. So, what you will do now is take 300 points and divide it any way you choose, in any amount you choose, among those occupational skills that are listed.
Okay. Is it just on the skills tab, not combat or backstory?
Just on the skills tab, yep.
Okay.
And then after you're done that, we're going to get into your what's known as your personal interest skill points, which basically means it's skill points that your character has taken, like quote unquote, a personal interest in that does not necessarily fall into your occupation. Like, you know, I don't know, just I don't know, whatever you wish. That's how it works.
Okay. Sure. So in order to select them, I just click on this button, right, and then adjust the numbers as I see fit.
Yep. 300 points. And then when you're done that,
I'm gonna have some sweet disguise skills.
actually, that would be really funny if it's like, oh, yeah.
Could come in handy.
I need to ask you some questions. Like, sorry, sir. And it's like, actually, I'm a man.
Hidden. What's spot hidden?
Spot hidden is going to probably play one of the larger roles in the game. Spot hidden is like seeing things that wouldn't normally be noticed as a passing glance.
Oh.
So if I say, for example, oh, this guy's trying to hide something, or like maybe he's like getting ready, like he has a gun hidden under his waist belt or something like that, you could roll a spot hidden to see if you notice that.
20 disguise. I have to use 300?
300 points.
I have to do this right now?
You don't have to do it now, but just make note of how many you have to spend and make sure you put it into your occupational skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of like looked at my occupational skills and kind of divided it up evenly, and then whatever I had left over, I just put everywhere else. But that's just because I like to have things even.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like library use too.
Yeah. Now in Overton, Wales, there's not really a library, but there's like record keeping in certain areas of the town itself. So in order to get actual quote-unquote library use, you'll probably need to travel outside of Overton.
Okay. Open to recommendation for additional skills.
Let's see. You've got your art or photography. I would either do...
Oh, I don't have art or photography.
Well, that's
Where would I...
That's one of the skills that's under your occupation. So, I mean...
Oh, automatically?
Yeah. You don't have to put any points in it. It just means this is under your occupation, therefore you can put points into it.
Okay.
Is anyone a good driver? Like, did anybody put stuff into Drive?
Oh my god, yeah, I never know, yeah.
Because we got into many a car chase the last Cthulhu game.
Good point.
Many included my character shooting out the window as we were driving away.
Oh my god, okay, so I'm gonna do first aid.
Okay,
I
that's good.
put points in Drive Auto.
Maybe some intimidation to get some information.
So
from
just
people.
remember that first aid doesn't
It's so big.
necessarily fall under your investigative journalist occupation, so don't spend your 300 on those. You need to spend them specifically on the occupational skills.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah,
You
you get
can-
like a certain amount for occupation, and then the other ones are just the ones that you
Personal
can just do for
interest.
anything.
Yeah, and then
I
you
see.
can throw points from your personal interest skill points into that if you wish.
Okay.
So I would suggest either charm or fast talk as an interpersonal skill.
How about
History, library use, own language, psychology, and any 2 other skills as personal or era specialties. Let's see what we got for skills here. I'll give you some suggestions to kind of help you out with what you might be needing. 94.
65, 85,
Skills.
115.
Let's see.
50, 60,
Astronomy, X,
80,
biology,
90.
bow, brawl, chainsaw. I'm just trying to think of like what would correlate with an investigative journalist.
I think I'm at 300 right now. I might have to dumb down some of my numbers.
Let me just double check here. Just remember that whatever you start out with is not your total, so you want to just dump 300 into those despite what the values currently are if you have not changed them.
Oh, I have changed them.
Okay, alright. Then it seems you're probably good in that.
His language is automatically 75.
Yes. Let's see here. Okay. Let's do your personal interest skills. That's going to be your intelligence times 2, which is 65, so that's 130 points. Go ahead and throw that into literally any skills you want. And while you do that, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick because I have to piss.
Okay, great. Good to know. So I can change this additional skill to whatever I'd like. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe that is what he's saying.
As long as it's within like the points that you have,
Gotcha.
and like you add them to whatever the base points already are. If everybody has base points into it, most of them are like 1% or like 10%. It's in the book. Did you get the link for the book?
I just sent it to her.
Yeah, I gotta look it up. I've only kind of skimmed it like an hour ago when I first
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
just control F skills, and then it's like near the end of the book.
Okay.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Connor.
Okay. Alright, so, did you determine what personal interest skills you would like?
I added photography.
Nice. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Now you're going to be working on your... Just try not to rip my fucking book in half. Decide skills and allocate skill points. You already did that. Create your backstory. Woo! I'm surprised. I suppose you're probably going to use ChatGPT for that, which is fine.
I did.
Okay. So again, just to give you some, I like that you actually pulled up that tab there. So personal description, go ahead and just describe what your character would look like. Your significant people, you are allowed one significant person and one treasured possession that could potentially help you regain your sanity as the game goes on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, you say you have like a really, really, really stressful day at work, and the only thing that's going to bring you back down is getting home and just relaxing. I mean, that would kind of be like a treasured possession, if you will. Home.
Video games.
So, okay. What say we zoom in on that? Maybe there's like a specific video game that you like.
Fortnite.
Might I
That was
just say...
My first thought was the Oregon Trail.
I was thinking Grand Theft Auto.
Try not to... see, I guess one thing about TTRPGs, Gabby, is that it's technically a form of escapism. So try not to be yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got an idea for the game. Call of Cthulhu.
Treasure possession.
How meta.
Call a Cthulhu campaign character.
That's even crazier.
So, like, for example, my character's twin brother died, and so her significant object is his cross necklace that she wears.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
In my case, my character's really fucked up, and his treasured possession is his senior year fucking report card.
Mine was just like an odd coin he found in the little river
Mm-hmm.
in the town that kind of has the symbol of Cthulhu,
The
but
D
he
River.
has no
Yep.
clue. No one knows. Jim just let me add it in as a little flavor.
Mm-hmm.
No campaign thing to it at all.
Yep. So basically your backstory is going to encompass what you believe your character is like, or what they personify. So obviously not only just your personal description, but it forces you to think about your character as a whole and what their life is like. So like I see that you put husband as your significant person. Well, go into more detail. What's your husband's name? I mean, how is he so significant other than the fact that he's your husband?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be like a childhood friend, or like a professor, or a mentor, or some neighbor that you're really close with. Anything to bring you down from what will be a very tumultuous experience.
Right. Do I need to drill down into these right now?
No, not right now. But
Okay,
before we start,
okay,
I would like
alright.
you to do that, so I can
Yeah,
at least
absolutely.
get things connected and try to come up with a scenario so we can all kind of converge and start the game.
Mhm.
So, treasure possession, same deal. Anything that is of value, extreme value to your character that they can kind of turn towards to cope with certain things. Injuries and scars, you don't need to have anything like that if you don't want to. Leave arcane tomes and artifacts alone. That will not apply yet. Ideologies, beliefs, that's probably a good thing to have. Like, maybe flesh out how you think your character would take on everyday scenarios. Like, are they compassionate? Are they asshole-ish? Are they selfish? Are they selfless? stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I
Maybe
can
you.
plug in a few things right now, but I don't want to tie this one up.
Yep.
Because I could probably do this for another hour, but I won't do that.
Meaningful locations. You can, I guess, play around with that. I mean, this is taking place in Overton, Wales, in the United Kingdom, so you could like maybe do a little research into that, see if there's anything there. Like for example, the St. Mary's Anglican Church there is pretty meaningful for a lot of the townsfolk. Traits, that's kind of leave that alone for now.
Okay.
Phobias, manias, you won't have to worry about that yet. And encounters with strange entities.
Don't worry, you will though.
That will develop.
And other than that, I think you're pretty close to done. Let me just double check here. Oh, equipments. Okay, so I think what we'll do, because we have at least a couple weeks before we start my Broken Sun campaign, which takes place on Tuesday. That's ending within the next couple sessions. Actually, 2 of my players are here. And my Esoterica campaign will be ending, that's my Wednesday campaign, that'll be ending in a couple sessions as well. Also, 2 of my players here. I know, it's a good game. I liked it a lot.
Esoterica's the one in the like the 1950s, right?
20s, yeah, we're in the roaring 20s. My character's a flapper.
A flapper girl, a naughty flapper girl.
She's like a spoiled rich brat, but she also is like nice, and she just spoils everyone around her and takes them shopping all the time.
Those are ankles out in public like a fucking prostitute, I bet.
Oh yeah.
She found a man too.
So yeah, don't worry too much about finishing anything right now. You still got some time. And what I do want to do is probably have a 4th and final session 0 to get gear taken care of, because everyone's going to have their own little items that they probably want to have on their persons. Like for example, Gabe would absolutely have a gun. Possibly other things that would be personally interesting to him. Kate might even have a gun because she's dealt with the law and technically is the law in some ways. James, otherwise known as Jeff, I don't know, you would have a laptop, probably even some other little tiny things that a hacker might have, like, I don't know, like a
cell phone.
Yeah, cell phone, or like a burner phone.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll cover all that to make sure everyone's all set and ready to go as a final session 0. And then I definitely perceive us starting within the month, after this month, sorry.
Nice. Can't wait.
And I think after this is all said and done, we should kind of get everyone familiar with Chronica. It's pretty easy to use. It's just kind of knowing what goes where and how to take notes. And I believe that it's even possible for people who are signed up into the campaign, which you already all are, to actually edit different notations on peoples and places and shit, and like add your own little personal notes that others can see. So
nice. Right.
It's going to be very helpful for everybody, especially when it might get a little convoluted and things could potentially get a little confusing. Like there's a lot of people in this town and they're all going to have their own experiences and they're all going to have their own opinions on what's going on. And basically the premise, obviously, from what I've posted in the Game Schedules channel is that you've already heard of a massacre that's taken place in a town that's not too far from your own. And there were no survivors. And local police aren't talking about it. They're not releasing any information on the investigation at all. They're not even giving conditions of the bodies or even how they found them. They're being very secretive about everything. and it's going to be kind of up to all of you to figure out what the fuck is going on. And honestly, having an investigative journalist on your side is probably going to help a lot. So
Yeah, that works out nice.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I have been like looking at the Chronica places and stuff, and it doesn't let you put notes. I think only the DM is allowed to put notes and stuff.
I'm going to have to see if I can change that, but I do believe that on the left column there is a section where you can put notes. It's like a...
It says notes. There are no notes, but we can't actually edit it ourselves.
Adventure notes?
It might be adventure notes, yeah. I'm not particularly sure. I'll play around with it. We'll get it figured out for sure, but
You can hit new adventure note once you click on adventure notes in the sidebar.
Oh, okay, yeah, top right, new
Yeah.
adventure note, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not like it's not just like so you can't like click on the place and then add a note. I think you have to like I don't.
Okay.
Because there's not even a thing to like stick it to something else. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it all out.
Will you be using the quest log?
Yes, I will be. Yes. The first investigation that you guys will be going on is going to be a local matter, and I will put it in there for sure.
Nice.
It's not going to be... Well, in my opinion, it's very sinister and dark what happens, and it's not even going to be something easily noticeable amongst the casual observer. But we will we'll address all that when we start playing, and of course I'm going to have it so each person in the campaign, each character, is going to have their own little entry scene, and then we're going to get everyone connected and have them meet up and eventually get thrust into this chaos that is what's going on. So it's gonna be fun.
I swear to God, if you make me crash my car in my entry scene again, I'm gonna be mad.
I didn't make you crash your car, the dice did.
Yeah, the dice did.
And I'm sorry that, you know, one of my other players was traumatized enough where he just...
You just broke out quite a bit there.
Yeah. He was like, yo, I can't do it. I can't play. So I'm sorry for whatever happens, and yet at the same time, I'm really not.
Sorry, not sorry.
It is what it is. I am going to be spilling out my mind for everyone to see, and I hope it doesn't disturb people.
We'll be fine.
I don't know. I really actually crazy and Tristan and one of my other players, Corgo, were a little disturbed at something I pulled out the other night for my Broken Sun campaign. Oh, the metal demon there?
Yeah.
What?
I wasn't disturbed. I thought it was kind of fun.
So, in my Broken Sun campaign, Blades in the Dark, they encountered a group of thugs that were trying to stop them from doing what they were doing, and they actually happened to have weapons and whatnot, metal ones, guns, and the players happened to have a demon on hand under their control that was specific to metallic objects. So he essentially went to manipulate said guns and caused them to melt onto their hands and arms, and like it covered their entire bodies and boiled them alive essentially.
Ew.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm glad the demon's on your side. Jesus Christ.
So that's just a small little taste, a little dip of the tongue into the.
Are you running any like standard D&D games?
Yes, I have my 5e campaign on Sundays. Ricky's part of that, and so is Tristan.
There's
So is
three of us
Crazy.
here, yeah?
Yep.
You.
Yep, they. So my Sunday campaign is sort of a reiteration of a previous campaign that I tried to run many, many, many years ago, but it kind of fell apart. But this is so much better. And so yeah, I got a D&D 5e campaign going. I've got Esoterica, I've got Blaze in the Dark, and I will very soon be having this. And I gotta tell you, with all this fucking submarine shit that I've been seeing in the news, I'm really, really tempted to do like an underwater Fate Core campaign.
Wait, you want to know something even crazier?
What's that?
You know the game Iron Lung?
Iron
Oh, the
Lung?
city jumped up on Steam because of that
Yeah.
whole submarine thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically some deep diving submarine scary game. Sales went up high. The developer said this just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Like Ted, no joke, said this just felt wrong to have this.
Well, he shouldn't feel wrong about it, considering the people who died on the submarine had more money than he'll ever have in his entire lifetime.
Yeah, that's true. And
True.
at least the CEO can't hurt anybody anymore. So,
It's not like the
Just have to
developer
find somebody
could have-
else to exploit workers.
The developer could not have foreseen something like that happening. So, it's
Yeah.
but
unfortunate.
it is. But
No, they
yes.
first saw it and they ignored
No,
it.
I'm talking about the developer.
Oh,
She's
the
talking about the
game.
game developer for Steam.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, it's
gotcha.
like, hey,
I
let's
thought we were talking
quick.
about the submarine.
No.
Mhm. So after all is said and done, I mentioned this to everyone else. Gabby, this campaign could potentially go on for, I don't know, probably close to like a year, maybe a little bit more,
that's fine.
depending on circumstances and if we are able to play each session and if other things don't happen, which is fine. Life does happen. And I've even had to go on like pretty long hiatuses with some games because life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. I get it.
So
Jeff's here to keep me in line.
once all is said and done, and if we do finish, obviously the door will be open for you to enjoy other games that we like to offer here.
Cool.
I am especially excited about potentially trying a Dune campaign.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
I have the rule book that I have barely flipped through a couple pages on. And Fate Core, that's one game that I've been wanting to revive at some point. I did a
You
little...
said that was an underwater one you wanted to do?
Yeah, I'm thinking of, yeah, something like that. But previous iteration of a Fate Core campaign was a superhero-based.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
That
It kind
sounds
of
fun.
fell apart a little bit. Everyone had their own specific powers that they chose, and there's just a lot of really fucking fun RPGs out there that have yet to be tapped.
Anytime I think of that fake game, I think of Crazy putting a bomb that he already pulled the trigger on my hand and telling me to throw it.
Oh, I remember that. I love it.
Every time I think of that game, I think of Woe. The guy who just, like, anytime you try and hurt him at all, he just redirects all that stuff back at anyone else other than him. Like children, women,
Jesus.
families, yeah. So his
poor
power was damage redirection, so anytime you tried to hurt him, he could just simply apply it to anyone else.
And I was a pacifist. Like my person's thing was that she won't hurt others. Like she'll maybe like incapacitate them, but she won't like kill them.
Ah,
And everybody else in the
pacifist.
group were like committing war crimes.
Literally,
Oh,
one of the episodes was named "Fuck the Geneva Convention."
Oh my god.
Yep,
Yeah.
and
no, actually,
they were
no.
constantly trying to get my person to kill people, and that's what.
Well, I
But-
give you the grenade because you tried to mess with my guy's head.
to keep you from killing people.
You
That's
still
it.
you mess with him.
Anyways, so I think we're good for now. Let's try and probably meet up again within the next week or two to make sure everyone has their gear set up and their backstories all set. We'll get Chronica set up, everyone's characters inputted into that. Possibly some connections as well between each character. I know, Crazy, you had a connection with Ricky's character. And Tristan, your character, has some connection with some NPCs around the town. Crazy.
Yeah, and my character's also connected to Crazy and Ricky because we all went to school together. At
Yep.
least for a year I was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to turn out to be very, very good. As I had mentioned, I've learned things from the previous Call of Cthulhu campaign that is going to play into this. So, it's going to be less, I guess, I think I made the previous one a little bit too dark. Like, everything was just so dark. There was just dark things happening all over the place. There was no light.
I liked it. I don't know. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I liked it.
But I also like dark horror stuff, so that's probably why.
Like, for example, Tristan's character had a sort of a friend in her occupation that was sort of like her mentor, older than her, and she ended up passing away. And she would constantly have these vivid nightmares because of this evil cosmic entity that was like influencing everybody. Like, she would have nightmares of her entering an operating room where her friend's on the table and the doctor's like operating on her, and he's like, "Oh, we need to do this," and he just starts like ripping organs out and throwing them to the floor and shit.
That was that one girl. What was her name?
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I just can't recall her name.
But she left. She ended up leaving the server like a few months after that, after the game ended.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was her, because my character was the FBI agent who ended up having the fiance who was dead, but then turned out he faked his death, and it was like a whole hot mess.
Y'all, I need to eat popcorn listening to your.
The ending is very dramatic because
Just getting the cliff notes.
Yeah.
the king was winning, the world was getting flooded, and we were trapped. And he had that one girl, the one he was just talking about. Her cat was like her personal object or whatever, and she was going crazy. So she thought her cat had run off, but she thought her cat was telling her to join her in the water. So she jumped in the water and drowned herself because the cat.
John!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And then another player shot my fiance and killed him. So then I shot that other player, killed that player, held onto my fiance and drowned with him. And then Crazy just floated to the top and drowned.
So,
that's how the last Call of Cthulhu game ended.
so there's obviously going to be instances in the campaign where tensions are going to be high. There's going to be existential threats to your characters, which is totally normal. And unfortunately, there's really going to be no avoiding it.
Well, it's part of the game.
Exactly. It's going to be up to all of you to piece together the puzzle, and there's actually going to be a few subtle hints that I'm going to drop that I hope you guys pick up on that will help you in the long run. And I don't know. I mean, like, I'm also thinking back to what happened during the previous campaign, and yes. So the entity in the previous campaign was known as the King in Yellow. He's technically not an H.P. Lovecraft creation. He's a Robert W. Chambers creation, which is he's accredited H.P. Lovecraft in his writing several instances. But one of the entities he created was known as the King in Yellow, who is a entity from a place in the cosmos known as Carcosa. And when he manipulates your mind by way of you reading a poem or a book or a play of some kind, it's called The King in Yellow.
It's a play.
it fractures your psyche and causes you to become susceptible to his control. And with that, everyone was basically found themselves under his control and learned that their world was slowly being overtaken and assimilated by this Carcosa place. And by the time that it was basically too late, they had learned that their world had ceased to exist and this new one had taken over. And that's when they learned that it was futile. And that's when they died. Pretty horribly, actually.
All right, then.
Though we did trap the guy in a dagger and send him off into space.
Yep. And the other thing I will say is it was preventable. There were certain moments in the campaign that I had dropped that would have possibly helped you come to a better conclusion. But in this campaign, it's actually going to be not so
Obvious.
yes. There's a lot of things that will be occurring that you would normally take for granted as a human being that actually is part of the plot. It'll be interesting to see how everyone reacts to these things. And
well, I for one am looking forward to it.
Same.
well, thanks. As I said, this is an entity I've never used before, one that I've never even heard of before. I picked up the Malleus Monstrorum, which is the Chaosium book that details all of H.P. Lovecraft's lovely cosmic entities and deities and gods and mythic.
They're all sunshine and rainbows.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like the King in Yellow is kind of just like the most common that like because even like on TV and video games and stuff, like it's always like the King in Yellow.
The King in Yellow was also referenced in the show True Detective.
And that's an actual H.P. Lovecraft thing?
Not H.P. Lovecraft. There was
that's right. The other guy you said.
Yeah, there was a person who started writing before H.P. Lovecraft became famous. His name was Robert W. Chambers. He was kind of a writer around like the 1890s.
Yeah.
And he had fully developed this entity, the King in Yellow, who was possibly among one of my favorite cosmic entities in the Cthulhu mythos, and he is also known as Hastur, which is Cthulhu's half-brother.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize he had one.
Yeah, they tried fighting each other through us. The last one, they're like, side with me and I'll do this for you, and they're like, side with me and I'll do this for you. It was a fun time.
Yep.
Nice.
Also, they also feel like an elemental theme of Hastur is wind, Cthulhu is water.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Different elemental type things.
Yep.
But I have, if you want to read some of H.P. Lovecraft's works before we start, you can get a sense of what's going on. In fact, do you know Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, that show?
Yes.
The show Pickman's Model, the episode Pickman's Model, is an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Oh, I didn't know that. I saw that one.
Yep, it's good. Paintings drawn by a person who literally drive people mad when they see them.
Yeah, that was the one where like the paint person was coming out, right? And like the woman was like making out with it, stuff like that.
Well, there was so this one was this guy is an art he's an art enthusiast, very good at it, and this new guy, Pickman, joins his art group and starts drawing these really horrific images, and he like gets involved with his life and learns.
I'm a bit confused then.
Yeah, essentially he learns that this guy is inspired by something but doesn't know what it is, and after he just keeps seeing all these different images that he's drawing, he just gets further and further into madness, seeing things, hearing things, and eventually he has like nightmares and shit like that, and his family gets involved. Like they see some of his works, and it gets to the point where everything becomes so tumultuous that the guy ends up shooting Pickman, the guy who draws all these things, after learning that, well, they're not just things that he imagines. They are real. And he draws them from experience.
Yeah, that's
And-
creepy.
And one of the final moments in the actual episode is he gets home, like this guy who, after he shoots Pickman, he gets home and he discovers that his wife has completely succumbed to the influence of the paintings, and she ended up fucking dismembering their son and cooking him as a meal. It's
Right.
fucked.
Heck.
You should really look at it.
And also, chapter 2, the Investigator's Handbook, is a Dunwatch horror.
Yep.
I
that
may
was-
not have seen that episode.
Yeah, and also, yeah, like Crazy just said, in the Investigator's Handbook, there's the Dunwich Horror, which is the full-on story of one of H.P. Lovecraft's most famous works.
Yep.
Also,
I think I need.
go ahead.
I just said I think I need to get into my old laptop that I was using and get a picture of the cosmic horror that I made last time, just for this campaign.
You know why I didn't know what you were talking about, John? Is because I have not seen the episode yet. I'm like halfway through it.
Oh, okay. And also, there's been several movies that have been coming out lately that kind of are based off of H.P. Lovecraft's work. For example, there's this new one that I've heard about called Suitable Flesh. It's based on the short story known as The Thing on the Doorstep. And then there's
Sounds like the name of a Goosebumps book.
And then there's my personal favorite H.P. Lovecraft story is The Color Out of Space. That is Nicolas Cage.
Oh boy.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that was-
unfortunate.
That was a good
Actually,
one.
Nicolas Cage is becoming quite the prominent horror actor,
Vampires.
if I do say so myself. Actually, that movie sucked. Sorry, Z.
I didn't watch it.
Which one?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
It's the newest one with Nicolas Cage in a comedy horror movie.
Oh, I think I wanted to watch that. I thought it would be stupid, but looked funny.
So yeah, look up the movie Color Out of Space. It's about this cosmic entity that just kind of drops to Earth in an asteroid, and then H.P. Lovecraft, this was considered to be his favorite amongst everything he wrote. It's this entity that just kind of arrives on a planet, and once it hatches, it gestates and starts producing this larva that infects the environment around it. And as it does so, it mutates the environment and even changes it in pretty drastic and horrific ways. Like it can get into the water, it can get into the soil, into the trees, the shrubs, flowers, fruits, everything.
Got Tommy Chong in it.
It has Tommy Chong as the
Does it
crazy
really?
guy. Yes, it does.
That's the crazy guy. Look what I got!
Oh, I love that. Oh, you should definitely make that your picture.
I already got my character image.
She's got a great picture.
Okay.
Put that in the Discord now so everybody can see it.
And so with the Color Out of Space, after it gestates, it starts to grow
In
and
discussion?
become
Right in the VC chat.
something different from when it started. It kind of like infects everything. It's a light. It's a literal
Yep.
light.
Yeah. Based off the book, The Color Purple.
Color purple, yep. Really fucked up shit. H.P. Lovecraft was a sordidly
That's a great picture, though.
terrifying motherfucker. A racist, bigoted person who just had a really fucked up upbringing, and he poured everything he experienced into his works, and it shows.
Yeah, like some of the creatures even just came out of his own.
You gotta make that your
Bad
picture in
dreams.
D20.
Okay.
I think like most of the stuff based off of the dreamscape, Synchro says came from his own mind.
Yes.
How do I save this?
It saves automatically.
Oh,
You
okay.
just close out of it.
So if I close this, I didn't
Yeah,
lose
you're
everything.
not gonna lose anything.
Okay.
But I think we're good. It's 12:14. If anybody needs to go to bed, they can. I'm just finishing this bowl here. If people want to continue discussing their characters or whatever, we can. Either way, you're free to leave. Not that I'm holding you.
No, I know.
Oh, by the way, I can put it into our chat, but for Takers of Souls, July 2nd, that Sunday, I'm not gonna be able to play because my mom and my grandma are flying in.
No, that's right.
So in the screams and the
I
silence
should be
section
able
in
to
there,
play the
there's
other days of the
a
week.
the investigator section. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just trying to explain to Gabby.
No,
You
you're
can
fine.
do it after. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine, Tristan. I understand. Family comes first, so.
Yeah.
They're
And
gonna
that,
be there that entire week, so I should be able to play in the other games. It's just that day they're flying in.
okay. And that applies to everyone else. If life occurs, just tell me. I would rather you just tell me than not and have me wonder.
I have to wash my hair that day.
You don't have any hair to wash, so that's all right.
That's good. Damn it. Figured I'd try.
You didn't say what hair.
So, yes.
My beard hair, damn it.
And that's actually one of the reasons why you're here, Gabby, is the other player that I had offered the position to, I know to be particularly flaky and not fully invested in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go into this with one person thinking that, I mean, I get it. Life happens, and you want to do things that are outside of the game that are important to you. But it's just simple as communication. Just tell me that you're not going to be here, or tell me that you have something that you need to do. It's very simple. And he just is not very good at it. So I decided that this time around, I'm just not going to deal with it. So, welcome.
Thanks.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to hop on with us. That's fine.
Happy to be here.
And I'm going to try my best to not make this first experience for you suck balls.
I'm sure you're going to do just fine.
Don't base it on.
Is your mic
It
down?
has to do with me.
I
Sorry,
can't hear anything you're saying.
I'm flexible. I'm here to have a good time and fuck shit up.
Well, you will with all those stats you got. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, tell me about it. But so as a first-time tabletop RPGer, just try and think, like outside the box and be someone. Yeah, try and set yourself into someone's skin. Try and be, this investigative journalist that's just curious, always looking for the next answer.
I feel like it is kind of like a testament of like the more you play, the more intense your characters get. Because my first ever character was just a wood elf beast master, whatever, I forget what they're called. My brain's not working.
Yeah,
Who just had a pet wolf and just went around and rescued animals all the time while fighting. And I was like, this is great. She didn't have much of a backstory. It's fine. And now I'm like, my twin was murdered. I must solve the murder.
I was running that. I think I was one of very few people that were running that West Marches, for the record, Tristan. So I was doing my best. And
No, it was a good time. I loved it, but I was just saying, like, for me, like, personally, it was my first time ever playing anything, and I was just like, I don't know how to make a backstory, and I was just like, she just wants to save animals. That's fine. It's cool.
you can't save them all.
And now I'm like, yes, my brother was murdered, and I need to solve the murder, and this guy is my friend, and he's gonna help me.
Your backstory could be summed up with one word: sus.
The creativity comes with time.
Yeah.
Yes, and I obviously don't expect you, Gabby, to get everything right away. I mean, it's not, and nobody really does get it all right away. But
This will be my first Cthulhu campaign.
actually, it will also be among your, I wouldn't say your first, but definitely one of very few experiences with tabletop RPGs, right, Jeff?
That would be correct, yeah. I know we started a long time ago, and I kind of had to
The West
not
Marches,
do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, like, our server's really good at is, like, if you don't know what you're doing, we're very patient, very, like, we're all learning together. Let's go. Like,
Mm,
Oh, that's
Exactly.
awesome. I appreciate that.
Oh, like hurry the fuck up, Gabby.
Yeah. That's what I was like.
Make a
I can,
decision,
I
damn
can
it.
do some of this later, right?
Yes, you can do some of this later. So what we'll do again is, I guess next week, same time. Oh wait, Ricky, you're not going to be available for 2 weeks, right?
he is not at his desk.
Oh, he's not here. Shit.
He fell asleep.
No.
yeah, he said he had to go do something.
Well then, I guess. Yeah, I would imagine that it's not gonna be horribly different from previous experiences.
With this particular person.
No. Sorry, I'm kind of speaking out of turn a little bit here. I am also smoking a bowl, so I might. My thought processes are.
Might need to call it quits.
No, my thought processes are always not thought processes. There's a train that derail over and over again.
Sorry. So obviously, if anybody has any questions with their characters and how everything works, or backstories, anything that they want to include in their backstories, connections with other characters, connections with the town itself of Overton, you can even do your own little private research of Overton. For example, a little fun fact: in Overton, there is the St. Mary's Anglican Church, which was built. The original foundation of the church was built in the 7th century.
Wow.
So it's pretty fucking old.
Pretty old.
It's like 2,000 years old almost.
That's crazy.
And then there are a group of yew trees in the courtyard of the church that are almost
Yew
just as
trees.
old. Yep.
Wow.
And it is known as the 7th Wonder of Wales.
This is a real place.
Yeah, Overton, Wales. Yep, look it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had you put any coincidental whatever involving this campaign or places, people, anything like that. Blah, blah, blah. Just like...
Oh, that's pretty.
Yep. And there's a place known as the White Horse Inn where everybody will kind of be gathering, I would say, for the first initial beginning of their first investigation. And as I said to you, Jeff, I believe that I have a very good idea of what the first scene is going to be, and it's going to really set everyone on edge, and I'm fucking loving it because I'm
Can't wait.
It's going to be one of those like, oh shit, like I know what I'm getting into, but yet I don't at the same time kind of moments. It's like that's the other thing. One of the things, Gabby, that you should know is there's something called meta gaming, which is you as a person playing the game knows certain details about the game, but your character that you're playing does not necessarily know those things, and it's up to you to be able to correlate what's what and make sure that your character doesn't pursue certain things that they wouldn't necessarily know.
So it's like pretending to be somebody else, really.
Yes,
We are
pretending
Completely.
We
to
are
be.
writing a
Go
story
ahead.
together.
Yep, exactly. Yes, so you are exactly
Like
what you said, Z.
Hardcore roleplay.
Yep, you are formulating a story together and building a story together. So it's
So like if my character doesn't know that reading a book would make them go insane, but I know that, like, it would be metagaming if I made it that my character didn't read the book.
exactly
Even
yeah,
though-
Slowly driving them to the brink.
exactly, like Tristan was in my other game, and she knows that basically any Cthulhu Mythos book that you read is gonna probably drive you insane, if not really drive you to that edge. And Of course, as a player, she can't bring that into the game knowing that. She has to play the character, be like, oh, a book that looks really weird, I'm going to read it.
Yeah, because especially so like last time I was able to skirt by because my character was very like just skeptical. She didn't want to read that stuff. Like she was like whatever. But like my character in this game is like very adamant wanting to figure out what happened to her brother. So if she thinks it has to do with her brother, she's gonna read it.
Yeah.
And I have to
Yeah.
I have to go I'm going into this knowing I might go insane with this character.
Ooh, I like that.
And that will also hopefully play into further decisions with your character. Not just with the crazy stuff that, you know, any instinctual person would be like, fuck no, I'm not touching that. It goes to, you know, like communal things. Like, for example, maybe you have someone in the community that's suffering from a certain crime or a devastation or a tragedy, and you want to be there for that person, but you as a player know, okay, something's fucking going on here, and I need to like figure this out. But your character would be like, oh, honey, I'm sorry, you know. It's like
So it's, yeah, being a little more strategic, I guess.
yes, it's choosing how you perceive your character that you're playing to be like, and how they would approach certain situations. I will say that one of the toughest thing I think for everybody, and I think I speak for everybody here, is separating yourself from the role play. It can become particularly tough, especially when passions rise a bit, like when the actual existential threat of your character comes into play. Like, I've had people in the past be like, whoa, no, I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and they're literally trying everything to stop the fate of their character. And sometimes it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You have to expect what's going to come. Like, for example, take the submarine thing that happened this past week. The speculation is there for sure. Everyone's like, oh, this could have happened and this could have happened. Well, no, this happened.
Fuck around and find out.
Exactly. But it also plays into how you think your character would react to certain scenarios and how they would deal with certain scenarios, and even how they would investigate certain things, because that's what you ultimately are playing as investigators. You are trying to solve issues and crimes and get to the bottom of things going on in your town, even when others around you might not want to. So it's going to be up to all of you to continue that momentum and figure out what's going on before it's too late. And trust me, the timeline is going to be relatively short. That's why each session is going to essentially be interlinked. It's going to start and stop, and then the stopping point will pick up with the starting point on the next session. So it's going to be interchangeable, interlinked, everything.
All right. That's good. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Essentially condense everything that's going to potentially be happening within like a year or so down into like 2 weeks in game time.
All right.
I will say, our like Call of Cthulhu is so far has been my favorite campaign. Our last one, even though it ended very, very badly, it was a great time. I loved it.
I think most people here that have played with me before can attest to the themes that I often bring with my campaigns, and some of them are horror. Actually, a lot of them are horror. Even in my Taker of Souls campaign, which isn't exactly horrific in nature, it has elements of horror. And I just feel that with the human range of emotion, you need to be able to tap into all of these different things to invoke certain emotions. I've made people cry before. I'm not lying.
You better not make me cry, John. I swear.
I will not make
We
you
know
cry.
where you live.
I know where you live, damn it.
I know where you live. Yeah. So no, And I'm not lying when I say that. I mean, those sort of emotions are easy to invoke as long as you know what buttons to push.
So I'm screwed. That's what you're
No,
telling me.
Gabby's gonna push all the buttons.
The ending of our last Call of Cthulhu campaign truly was like, I was so upset. I was like, I think I almost cried. I was so mad that player shot my fiance.
And I didn't want to do it, but I knew that I had to because otherwise, how would it be horrific?
That's a good
I was
point.
so mad.
Yep.
I was so mad. I
Mhm.
truly, like, I think that was the one time. That was the one time in our campaigns that I truly was like so emotional at the end.
And I think that is all also going to play into this one, although, like I said, this is going to be entirely different from the first campaign. It's not going to be as progressively like, oh, shit's hitting the fan pretty quick. This is going to be sort of a somewhat slow burn. And as I'm going to say, there's going to be subtle instances where I'm going to drop hints like, oh, this happened and this happened. And it's up to all of you to really start to piece things together. And I hope, Tristan, crazy, that maybe you will consider this time around that time is of the essence.
Got it.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means stop dilly-dallying.
I just want to investigate everything.
I know. I know. I get it. And I think that was partially my fault as well. I kind of threw all this shit at you, and you're like, I don't know what to do. And everything was just kind of too late by the time you really figured out what was going on. And like, even when you woke up that one time and everything was dark outside, you knew that it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, also I think too, like a lot of a lot of us just as players, like we all wanted to do different things. Like we couldn't really agree on what to do a lot of times.
Yes.
So, also, I just remember one thing. Think how even them taking with the role wasn't good for them either, because I just remembered there was a a dole.
Yep.
A giant worm that was still coming to be in there.
Yep, you're
So,
correct.
So honestly, that thing probably came alive and destroyed a huge chunk of Carcosa now.
So the idea is you guys need to play off of each other. You need to work with each other's skills. You need to evolve and rely on each other's experiences to figure out what's going on. And in order to not only foster good relationships with your characters, you need to foster good relationships with each other. And there's going to have to be a rapport. There's going to have to be sort of a okay, my character can't do this, but yours can. I need to allow myself to give into that circumstance and to know that your character can't do everything. It's just like real life. I mean, I know for a fact that I don't know anything about Pilates.
You don't? Why not?
but other people do. And for example, like with Kate's character, nobody knows anything about forensic psychology or what that entails, and like for hacking for you, Jeff, and even journalism for you.
I know all about Pilates too. You just don't know it.
Oh boy.
Add that to the skills.
Just kidding.
I've written so
Pilates
many
under skills.
articles
I'm just
on Pilates. You wouldn't believe it.
That's because I hacked a Pilates instructor's computer.
You wouldn't believe the cult fanaticism.
Also known as watching YouTube.
Yeah.
I would,
she left her website open, so I just hacked it, quote unquote.
So I would hopefully expect everybody to. I've had instances in the past with other games where people just kind of went Lone Ranger and started like, hey, I'm gonna do this and this and this and fuck everyone else, and I'm just thinking to myself, no.
That's kind of what ended up ruining our Fate game, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
People just doing their own thing.
Yes.
It was bad, yeah.
Yep.
See, work as a team, people.
And unfortunately, I cannot stress this enough in Call of Cthulhu campaigns. Teamwork is essential. You need to rely on each other, otherwise you will not survive.
Oh yeah, you mean you got like that lone person that goes on their own. Next thing you know, they're in trouble, and everybody's like, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah, I'm gonna go to this place with all these enemies, and I'm gonna get downed, and it's kind of like Fortnite. Hey guys, come save me.
Oh.
I'll tag where I'm going, but I'm going whether you like it or not.
So 12:34. I think we can call it for tonight. Sorry, I don't mean to keep everybody.
Oh, this is fine. This is good. Just good to kind of get a feel of what's happening, what's coming up. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I appreciate the support and guidance as well.
Yep, and of course, don't. I shouldn't say don't. You're probably gonna feel your first-time jitters. It happens with absolutely everybody that starts a new game and that they've never played before, a new experience, especially with games like this that kind of demand a certain. I wouldn't say. It does. What's the word I'm looking for? It demands a certain perspective on things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you walk up to anybody on the street and they're like, "Oh, fuck D&D," nerds, fucking assholes, and it's like, no, you don't give it the chance.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So nerds or not, it is a social game. And it is meant to be a team game, and it's meant to solve a puzzle that hopefully everyone can contribute to solving, which I think is actually shaping up to be quite good. I mean, we got a hacker, we got a thug, intimidating. Sorry, not a thug, criminal.
No,
Get it right.
Get it right or pay the price.
We got forensic psychologist, we got a police officer. Really, the dynamic that is going to be forming already is intriguing because you got multiple police officers that are also dealing with multiple operators beyond the law, so to speak, quote unquote, hacking, criminal stuff. So it's going to be very interesting to see the dynamic between everybody and what happens when shit hits the fan and all of a sudden your neighborhood enemy becomes your closest friend.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's going to literally be survival of the fittest. And
all right.
This particular entity is unbelievably fascinating to me, and I can't believe I did not discover it before, and I think you're going to like it because I'm terrified of this thing. And it's so subtle in how it works that you probably won't even really notice.
All right.
It's not like, oh, I'm Cthulhu, I'm going to burst out of the sea and come kill everybody. It's not like that. It's going to be more like, well, you'll see.
Subtle.
Yeah, subtle.
All right. Well, I am looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Yep, expect probably maybe 2, 3, maybe a month max before we start.
All right, so we'll do one more session to finish the items that we're carrying and
gear
that's it.
And backstories, yeah, all that stuff.
All right.
Did you get disconnected, Ricky?
I think I got moved to AFK.
Oh yeah, if you don't speak after a certain amount.
Yeah,
of
I
time.
was muted because I was finishing up like my checklist and packing. I'm leaving in 10 hours.
Oh shit!
Ew.
So that means you gotta arrive at the airport probably in the next 6, I would say.
Yeah, quite literally, because we board at. No, actually, I'll be at the airport around 7, so 7 hours.
Oh shit. Okay. And you're gone for how long?
I'm gone for 2 weeks. I'm gone until the 11th.
Well, I guess I say as a heart-to-heart from all United States citizens that are in solidarity with me, Good luck and be safe.
What?
Safe travels.
You.
I actually planned to meet up with Match.
Oh,
on
you
my way
do?
down from Seattle. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
For reference, Jeff Gabby Match is one of our other players. He's also in my Taker of Souls campaign on Sunday.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the first time you guys are meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I've also had other members meet each other, and like, like Okami's had people meet up with him.
Korgo.
Korgo's met up with people.
Yeah. Korgo
Astro.
came- I mean,
Yeah.
I know Astro IRL, so Astro doesn't count. But like, Korgo came over a while ago to the island.
Damn. So yes, this is a tight-knit community here that has been going on for years and years. I think actually Amarket, let's see, that ended a couple months ago. That was going on for almost 5 years. And even before that was nobody else. So yeah, it's been 5 years strong that this server's been going.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
awesome.
much all of us admins have been here at least 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Korgo's one of them. Tristan's an admin. We're also LGBTQIA plus friendly. So
Well, you better be.
yeah, well, yeah. Actually, we have a large number of individuals who identify that way. So
We have a large number of trans in this community, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
There's a lot of trans people in the D&D community, so that's cool.
as I said, it's a form of escapism, and I do not blame anyone in the slightest for trying to get away from this cruel, dark world we have. So.
Yep.
For a
So let's make it
crueler
a
and
dark
darker
world.
one.
Yes, I was about to say. Hold on a second.
My life was fucked up enough already. Let's do this game.
Let's train this one.
Yeah, let's. Yeah,
No,
hey.
it's fucking strawberry.
I'm and
Huge.
you're right. I mean, it's kind of a little bit ironic in a way, like out of the frying pan into the fire again situation, where it's like, hey, let's leave this world and go for a far more cruel world.
That's just fine.
Nice change of pace. Yeah, this is fine.
Some people just want to escape what they have right now. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. At least in this one, they won't be oppressed. If I have anything to do
I
with
like
it.
making literal characters that I can torture.
Yeah, you do have that pattern, don't you, Ricky?
Not really.
Oh, come on. Lareth is like super tortured.
Lareth was
fucking...
supposed to be a shining light in this world of darkness, and you snuffed it out.
No. He did it by his own actions.
You made his kids hate
What do
him.
you mean?
You did it by your own actions. You alienated your own kids by your works and your occupation. And then I had my NPC
What?
son drive it home right into your face. He was like, "You know what? Fuck you. Get out. I don't want anything to do with you. Leave my mother alone."
He's gonna fight you.
Look at his face right now.
He is just dumbfounded.
What?
I'm sorry.
Listen,
John was his
it
curveballs.
was supposed to be a military family type thing. You know, he went away, he got deployed.
Yeah, but
He
you
did what he
started
had to
dabbling
do.
with dead people. you
Yo,
literally
you
cut up
brat.
cadavers in your basement.
And then you tried reanimating your father with the shard. Come on
Okay,
now, dude.
okay,
You were going
listen,
down a bad
you can't
path.
tell me with his specific skills, right? I gave my character a specific set of skills, and then Zim just served me up on a silver platter. Hey, your father is dying of this irreparable illness.
You're damn right I did.
Try.
You need to have something that confounds your normal sense of reality. It's like, oh
You're
shit,
supposed to be
maybe
a
everything
wholesome
I
dad.
know.
Cook for
I'm
the
not going to
party.
be the server dad all the time. I may be server dad, but I don't want to always be holding people's hands. But in that same vein, you did kind of walk into that, and you totally set it up for me.
It's all your fault.
Oh, my characters are just traumatized by choice.
Well, hey, you tried saving that kid that stepped out into the horse race trying to get run
She's
over.
chaotic good. She's gotta.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god, that was literally one of the things that I typed in for my character was chaotic.
So
We're gonna get along.
one of the
All of my
things that
characters
so
chaotic good.
the main theme behind my Sunday game is basically undeath. Undeath did not exist in my campaign world before a certain amount of time ago, and the characters in the game have kind of grown up experiencing undeath and becoming a part of it and normalizing it as a way of life or death. And one instance in the campaign, Tristan's character had experienced this kid who is going through a sickness, what is known around the world in my campaign as the plague. It's just something that is enigmatic and no one has been able to cure or find anything to satiate the ailment whatsoever with. And it's also a very deteriorative disease that causes people to lose their will to live and cause them go into a depressive state. And literally they were going through this horse race. She was part of this horse race as they were visiting this kingdom that was in the world that Phalorian. And once
What's Christendom, right?
Christendom, yep. And horse race was going on, this kid who is infected by the plague literally stepped out into the track to get trampled on his own free will.
Yeah.
And Tristan's character dove off of her horse to try and get him. She sped the horse ahead of everybody else and essentially dove to grab him out of the way, and she saved his life. But unfortunately, that very night, she and the others had a sort of vision / trance moment where they were visualizing this kid leading them through the city streets and eventually coming upon the bridge that connects Christendom from the rest of the world. And as they watched him climb the side of the literally the side of the bridge, he just said, "Witness me," and he jumped.
As we were all standing on the side of the bridge as well. We just woke up on the side of the bridge, looked to our left.
Woke up
The kid
morning.
was there, fucking dove.
Yep,
Wow.
woke up morning, they heard a blood-curdling scream. Apparently the mother had found her kid way below the bridge, and she was just crying. I mean, like, I don't have any other way to explain it other than they literally witnessed a kid commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And then fought
Yeah.
off a horde of undead.
So yes, I tend to imbue a lot of my games with those senses of horror and disgust and just like recoiling back to kind of take a perspective on things. It's I do it to myself.
Speaking of that stuff, if there is anything that you're like, that's too triggering, do not mention that. You can just tell Zib and he won't bring it up.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I had I mentioned that before, and you know, there are some things like Tristan, you don't like animal cruelty, and I get that. I don't like animal cruelty either, so.
That's fully why, because in this campaign, in the book, it's like you can have a dog, and I was like, I'm not having a dog in this campaign
Because you know what's gonna happen.
I refuse.
The fewer personal items,
I will
the better.
pet every dog that I find, but I will not have a dog.
Right, but the thing is, even if you were to let the dog go, the dog's probably the smartest one in the group and just gets away from everything and survives.
Yep.
Lives out in the woods somewhere happily.
Yeah, just like eats
Listen,
shrubs.
my first ever character had a wolf named Wolfie, and that thing saved 2 separate people on 2 separate occasions. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, he healed somebody.
He did. From the brink of death, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, twice.
And, oh boy. I don't know. I'm just glad everyone's excited, because I'm excited, and Call of Cthulhu has always been kind of one of those things that has truly fascinated me as not only someone who's a DM or a narrator or in Call of Cthulhu terms, a keeper of arcane lore. It's just something that taps into my personality and my psyche, and also kind of brings it out. And I really apologize to you, especially Jeff and Gabby, because you're about to experience some pretty fucked up things.
Why are you apologizing to me?
I don't know, because you've never seen
It's
me
just
in
the
this.
notes from the session zeros.
Yeah.
It's not going to change anything.
You know, I've known you for 37 years. I think I'm okay.
All right. Well,
don't trust me. I'm fine. It's okay.
well,
Almost.
in those, well, yeah, in those 36, which will be in 4 days, by the way, 36 years,
Sorry.
I don't think
I have
I've
no
never.
concept of time.
That's
3
right.
days.
I have
24th.
never. Yeah, that's true. I have never once unleashed this particular side of me, so I don't.
All right.
Maybe you'll get an insight. I don't know. We'll see.
We
I
shall
love horror.
see.
I was super into ghosts and horror when I was like 8. It have
Oh,
been
I
super
love
into it
horror stuff.
since then. So like I don't know, Call of Cthulhu is great for me. I love it.
Yeah, I love horror stuff. I'll watch
Same.
those anything horror really. I don't care.
So, yes.
So that's it then.
That I have nothing else to say. I feel like if I were to keep going, I wouldn't stop. So,
I would be
I'm gonna head
snoring,
out.
truly.
I
Not gonna lie.
night.
It's almost a 2-hour stream.
See you, Tristan. Have a wonderful night.
bye,
Have a good
Tristan.
night.
I guess one last thing I should say to bring us kind of into the game concept and how it should run. The goal should be for everyone to be able to experience their characters and experience the connections between them. So that means if you feel like your character would have something to do or say or whatever, don't be afraid to speak up. And if you have something that is relevant to the scenario that your character might be able to provide, speak up. I've had instances in the past where people weren't particularly vocal on certain things, and I've had to ask them, hey, what do you know, what's this? What do you do? And they'd be like, oh, I don't know. It's like, well, you can only take it so far. And
yeah.
I think as long as everybody kind of guides each other and is willing to learn how the game unfolds, then we should be good.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Sounds
And
good to me.
And I know you two particularly have your own rapport, obviously, because you're married. So, though I will say again, try not to pull that into the game.
No, we won't.
Like, for example, oh, I'm going to heal you because you're hurt. Well, he's not really hurt. Everyone else is hurt.
Fuck you, Jeff.
Yeah, you're not hurt. Fuck you. It's a flesh wound, bitch.
Yeah.
Rub
Walk
some
it off,
dirt in it.
little pansy.
And I don't think I've actually, I don't know, Crazy, do you remember any time where I ran a game or a campaign where two individuals were with each other in real life? I don't think so. You've been in like almost all of my campaigns, so I just...
Tolo and Moon.
Oh my god, yes!
They were?
Well, to be fair, they were like 18 years old and immature as fuck, to be honest. But
Them, I don't think they were one. That's how I was mistaken.
They were a couple. That was kind of like a main thing, wasn't it?
It seemed to be, but then I got really concerned. Like there were a bunch of red flags being raised about Tolo. He was like, I shit you not when I get this feeling, and I hate to say this, and I don't want to stigmatize, and I certainly don't want to paint a certain picture with these kinds of people, but he was literally school shooter material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I knew Tolo for a
constant,
bit, and I can agree.
constant depressive, like woe is me. I have guns. I'm violent. I'm outbursting, and like I'm gonna channel all of my problems into this game. And that's where the whole "fuck the Geneva Convention" episode came from. Like he literally murdered everybody in that building.
Wow.
And I was growing concerned with him, and I actually reached out to him, and I said, "Hey, what's going on? Because you are seriously concerning me."
Mhm.
You good, my G?
And he said, "Oh, I'm just, I'm going through life issues, and please try not to worry about it." I'm like, I'll try not to, but man, if you keep going this way, I can't have you in the server. I'm sorry. And I actually
Did he leave?
Yeah, I think he did leave on his own volition. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, Moon wasn't the best partner either.
No, she
From
often
what I read.
encouraged him. Yeah.
No, not only like encouraged them, I heard she was like pretty fucking toxic too.
Yeah.
Like pretty fucking bad. So yeah.
And there were, of course, instances where a couple of my admins were not being very nice to them, and that's why I got rid of them. I cracked down on that shit really hard. So 2 players from my first game that I ever ran on this server, Amarket, you probably remember it. I had appointed them both as admins for the server, and from the get-go, things were pretty good. They seemed to be fairly cordial with the rest of the server members, and were able to enforce the rules accordingly. And then there came a point where they got a little bit too comfortable with me as the server owner. Like they thought they could just kind of, this and that, and they thought they could get away with certain things with me. But I am not that way.
Well, we know.
And it got to a point where they started to think that I was out to get them, and that I was trying to oust them from the server, when I was literally reiterating to them over and over and over,
Holding
it's
them
not
accountable.
me. I am holding you personally accountable for your actions and feelings.
Yeah.
We are meant to be a specific kind of server, and you are a detriment to it. So, bye-bye.
Well, ultimately, it comes down to you and your admin's final call.
I just want everyone to be happy and have fun. I don't want anyone to feel like they're oppressed, or feeling like they're being targeted or singled out or ignored. I mean, we had instances where admins had these 2 previous admins that I had now since gotten rid of. They just completely ignored certain qualms and complaints from some of my members, and I was just like, "You're fucking done. I'm sorry. You don't deserve to be an admin at all." So they're gone. Of course, I had like tiny little tantrums from a couple of them. Like, "Oh, this is bullshit," and like, for example, my NSFW, not safe for work channels, that I have recently gotten rid of, turned into a fucking porn channel. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I'm not surprised by that, honestly.
Don't get me wrong.
I think a lot of people interpret that
Yeah.
as meaning.
As far as like that stuff goes, I mean, I'm fairly open-minded, but that's not what I wanted for this server. I didn't want people to just be like, "Oh," and what's fucking really bothered me is it was the most fucking active channel in my goddamn server. Everyone's everyone's posting boobs and vaginas and asses, and it's like, come on.
Dog, it was some. It was. I listen. It was. It was fine, and then it got bad, and then it got worse.
Yeah, it like exponentially just like just sloped uphill, super
Everyone's
steep.
trying to outdo each other.
Like we're
One up
talking,
each other.
and we're not even talking normal porn. We're talking like
Mhm.
stuff that bordered
Oh,
on
God.
like,
Okay.
Illegal.
yeah,
Dog,
Immoral.
Nazi porn. I'll put it that way. I'll say it. There was Nazi porn. Someone got banned for that shit.
yeah. So I, one of the admins was unfortunately the one of the perpetrators in this instances, and I said, hey, I am not okay with this, and this is not what I envisioned for the NSFW channel. I thought it was just going to be like adult, mature themes, not a fucking porn channel. He's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. He just gave me all these stupid excuses why he thought it was a good thing. And yeah, I wasn't having any of it.
It's just not
Yeah, don't do
necessary. Either way.
And I said, look, there's a place and a time for all of this. And usually that place is in your home, and a time is when you feel the urge. That's what I said to Donnie. Ricky.
Honestly, we could really like divide this like the history of the server in stages. Like it was pre-porn channel and post-porn channel. You know.
Yes. But I think lately it's been pretty tame. No one's gotten crazy. I mean, maybe the memes around the submarine thing recently were, you know, that's just kind of what happens. But
And people post memes about the submarine.
oh, and maybe not to the server, but I saw a few myself. Like for example, Titanic 2, Rich People 0. Oh my god, it's so bad. Oh man.
I saw I finally saw the George Floyd one.
Oh
Jesus.
my god, dude. I was like, maybe a little too soon still.
I hope the marine has enough oxygen. Like,
oh my god. Alright. I really don't mean to prolong everything, but I just keep talking. I can't stop talking.
That's fine. It is 1 o'clock now, so I think it's probably time to stop talking.
yeah, I gotta get going.
Yeah, you have a flight to catch there, Ricky. I know you're not going to be here for this Sunday or next Sunday? Question mark?
I'm pretty sure I get your neck like before that tonight. Pretty sure the 11th is Saturday. Let me check.
I believe you're correct in that. The 11th is actually a Tuesday, so you will miss the
I'm
9th
only
as well.
I'm only missing I'm missing. Damn, I'm missing 3 Sundays, huh?
No, you're missing 2 sessions.
Tomorrow, the 2nd and the 9th.
Let's see here. Hang on. Okay, so we're at the 20. Oh, damn. Okay, so you will be missing the 25th, the 2nd, and the 9th. God damn, bro.
Dang.
That's right. No, you got life, man. You gotta do your thing.
Well,
I'm
gonna
not
head
taking
out.
my laptop with me because I'm gonna be stopping at like motels and Airbnbs, and I really just don't want to carry this thing with me, and also like a lot of hiking.
So, speaking of that, Sunday's session, obviously you need to finish the fight with the behemoth bullet. How would you like me to proceed with that?
Hit and run. The scythe mostly. Remember, it should be already toggled on.
Okay.
Both the things. I got a +2 to bladed weapons and the electricity thing, and the behemoth will lose its reactions on a hit.
Okay. Alright, I'll try and remember that. You'll get the XP, and again, as I said with Tristan before, that was mentioned in jest and in slight anger, so it doesn't apply, and therefore you'll get XP. So disregard.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pop off for the evening.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. Good night, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. 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 Who else is left here with me? I think it's just me, isn't it? Oh my god, it's just me. Okay. Get ready, people listening to this, for you're about to embark on a journey of the most macabre and epic proportions. For in the tiny, small, secluded town of Overton, Wales, United Kingdom, nothing is as it seems. It all comes full circle. Everything I've learned about my players, everything I've conceptualized for the campaign. It's falling into place. And I don't know if that scares me or not. Because even I'm affected by some of these things that I come up with. They sear themselves into my psyche. What kind of a monster? What I had hot, corrosive, bubbling, boiling metal covering the entirety of people's bodies, boiling them alive, eking down their throat, scarring them, scorching. I even scarred one of my other fairly scarred players slash DMs. If I can do that still, what does that say about me? Am I damaged goods? I can never put into words the horrors that I've experienced like H.P. Lovecraft can. But I know my experiences. And I'm a bit fearful of what I'm able to conceptualize. It's not something you're proud of. It shouldn't even be something you're willing to dive into. It needs to be something you contemplate over and change from. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see.